I see you went undrafted. Saw the Rams move on to Ernest Jones. What did that do to your confidence and the purpose of your ability to come in and play around?
You know, I don't think like that move necessarily kind of gave me more or less confidence. I just, you know, I always just try to stay like even keel and just, you know, just come to work and, you know, do everything that I can from watching film, putting in the hard work and stuff like that, and just letting God dictate, you know, whatever happens next.
How does that relate to your team? You're saying you're all around guys and undrafted guys on the starters and scholars. What do you think about this team staff? I think you saw two players like yourself.
You know, I think you got to give them credit for choosing the right guys, but then also just, you know, how smart they are and just being able to, you know, teach things and just make everything come together for guys and just, you know, let it flow. And then just the trust they have for guys to be able to come in and, you know, prove themselves.
And what's different for you coming into year two?
Just, you know, a different level of like comfortability, improvement on some things, and then, you know, just, you know, I really say the comfortability, yeah.
Is there anything you picked up in film study with the linebacker group that you would say you didn't know coming in before?
I would probably say it was just like little nuggets like here and there, just like throughout, like watching film and being around guys like Troy Reader, Roseboom, and then now like guys like Nate Landman. So I think just picking up on little nuggets and stuff like that, and, you know, kind of, you know, just having like a photogenic memory to see, out of this formation, you know, a team like to do this, and, you know, seeing it again down the line, you know, it just...
You're supposed to have that entire linebacker room yourself. You guys are all lead round, undrafted guys. Do you feel like that gives you guys all like a sense of like underdog mentality?
Yeah, I would say so. You know, guys, you feel like you get overlooked and stuff like that. So I think that kind of put like a chip on your shoulder and stuff like that. But, you know, I just think, you know, we all like blue-collar guys. We come to work, you know, we don't want no shortcuts. We ain't taking no handouts. So, you know, that's just the type of guys we are.
You logged up in Wings culture. You see a bunch of former players on the sideline. Players just love to be around this organization. How do you feel about it?
No, I feel blessed. You know, I feel blessed that God placed me, you know, in an organization like this. I could definitely feel that, you know, this is probably one of the better organizations in the league. And, you know, just the culture and the vibe and the energy around here, you know, I just think it's nothing like it. So, you know, I love it here, and I'm glad to be here.
From 0 defensive snaps to making that fourth and one stop over Tennessee, you're already kind of step up on the one end of the level.
I really just say staying ready. You know, always watching film. You know, even with being a backup, you know, trying to learn from those guys that's in front of me that's actually playing, even though I'm not getting those reps. You know, so just staying ready, watching film, and, you know, just, you know, putting in that effort to stay ready even when, you know, your number isn't called yet.
So Jordan Winton yesterday, you said that in the wide receiver room, we try to keep everything, you know, open, you know?
Yeah.
Keep everything. You say that's the strength of the linebacker?
Yeah, I would say the same. I say if anybody got any questions, you know, everybody is willing to share. And, you know, if anybody got any nuggets, like any, like, oh, like, I know when they do this happens, you know, everybody's willing to share, like, secret sauce or whatever. Like, nobody's trying to hide anything, so.
Little stats on Jalen Hurts and Philly. What was that call? What did you recognize? And what was that moment afterwards? Awesome. You're in your hometown.
Yeah, it was great. You know, one, just being back in my hometown, it was like real emotional. You know, I had my family there and stuff like that. So, you know, it was good. But to get that slap and stuff like that, it was amazing. You know, just to be in my hometown and stuff, it was amazing.
What's changed the most that you come up with a piece of now?
I'd probably say just, you know, trying to as I, you know, watch film and stuff like that, and I see different things, just trying to point things out. If I see something on the field that, you know, I can remember that I was watching film and this happened. So just trying to, you know, point little things out, you know, about formation, you know, trying to, you know, see if I can figure out what they doing and, you know, get that information to other guys.
Do you have a personal goal or stat protocol you look at this year? 100 tackles, a couple sacks?
Whatever God got for me, man. Whatever God got for me.
What keeps you logged in during the season? Is there a specific person, past moment, or mindset that drives you?
What keep me locked in? I'd probably say God, and just my want to be, you know, one of the best at my position. You know, that really kind of keeps me focused, in my family and stuff like that. So
You have the chance to swap jerseys with one of your former LSU teammates during this season. Who would that be?
Ooh, that's hard.
Awesome. If you're in
It
your
was,
hometown.
yeah, it was great. You know, one, just being back in my hometown, it was like real emotional. You know, I had my family there and stuff like that. So, you know, it was great. But to get that swap and stuff like that, it was amazing. You know, just to be in my hometown and stuff, it was amazing. Which changed the most that I come up with this up now? I'd probably say fun fact.
Awesome. If you're in
your
hometown.
Yeah, it was great. You know, one, just being back in my hometown, it was like real emotional. You know, I had my family there and stuff like that. So, you know, it was great. But to get that